This video was created for the mom who can't sit still. I was thinking of myself and my mind was always racing. I was always trying to do something. I was addicted to productivity and getting it all done. And I thought that I could do it all. I thought that I could be super mom. And the truth is I burned out. And I needed to relax. So if this sounds like you, if you're relating to this, I want you to know that you're in the right place.
Welcome to the Slowish Parenting Podcast. I'm your host, Alexis. I'm a mama to 2 little girls and a parenting coach. It's become my mission to help families rekindle connection, to rebuild relationships on a foundation of safety and trust, and to give parents the tools they need to show up with empathy and compassion, no matter what situation may arise. If you are craving slowness, peace, and joy in your parenting, you've come to the right place. Alrighty, let's get into today's episode.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Slowish Parenting Podcast. Today I'm talking about relaxation, which has been really hard for me. I'm actually going to be sharing 6 things that you can do to help yourself begin relaxing. And very early on in my journey, I struggled to allow myself to relax because it felt wrong. It felt unproductive. It felt like I was a bad parent for wanting time to relax because my life is busy. I have 2 kids under 2. I should just be going. That's what this season is. And while naturally that is what this season is, it's like I needed that relaxation time. And it wasn't until I was in parenting coaching school, and I think it was almost 6 months into it, they were encouraging us to play. And when I first heard that, I was like, play? Gosh, I haven't played since I was a kid. I wouldn't even know what play is anymore. But one of the things she brought up was crafting, and I love crafting now and how that is a form of play. So I began quilting again, something I hadn't done in years. I loved sewing as a kid. And so I took out my sewing machine, which I hadn't used in years, and got it all fixed up and I started quilting again. And this quilt is not perfect. Do not take advice from me on quilting. None of the lines match up. But there's such beauty in the process of creating the thing. And I find that when I'm actually using and working with my hands, I'm actually enjoying motherhood more because I'm also pouring into something that I love, and I'm nourishing that part of myself. I'm kind of filling myself back up. And we need that. We need that to be a really good parent. And so this podcast episode is not going to be about different hobbies you could try or any of that. Rather, it's going to be practically like how to get myself to a place where I don't feel guilt for this, where I don't feel bad. I don't feel like it's wrong to relax. And I'm going to help give you the 6 steps that I believe are the way to finding true relaxation. Now, of course, you can do things like simplify your home, practice slow living, all these things that I think are wonderful and beautiful and that I do. But I also really feel like there are some things that we need to do, some inner work that we need to do rather, that is actually going to help us to be able to be fully present and to fully soak up these moments that we have to relax, whether that is simply drinking a cup of coffee or reading our Bible or engaging in a hobby. Maybe it's even just sitting and watching our kids play. Maybe that is a form of relaxation. How do we get ourselves there? So let's get into the very first thing, which is really what these 6 steps are. And so the first thing is going to be learning and studying the nervous system, understanding how the nervous system works, understanding what it takes to regulate the nervous system. Things like humming and rocking are beautiful tools in helping the body to regulate itself. We naturally do these things to help regulate our bodies. But when we know some things, some tools, tricks to help really soothe that nervous system, I think it's really crucial in helping us get to the point where we can actually relax. Because I think that's what I struggled the most with, is that my nervous system was in a state of fight and flight constantly. Now, granted, I would say most of the time now, I can't even say most of the time. A lot of my life, I'm still in fight or flight, but there's a really good majority that I'm in that really calm and parasympathetic state. And that's where I want to be. I want to be there more. So understanding the nervous system, how it works. I did do a podcast episode with my chiropractor, and she actually shares a really good analogy in there. I will go ahead and link that in the description, and I'll also link it if you're on YouTube. I forget which side, here somewhere, for you guys to watch that, because it gives a really good explanation of the nervous system. So you could start there and then start digging into that. There's another resource I really love. I love Irene Lyon. She does a beautiful job of taking different concepts that may be really hard to understand, and she boils it down into terms that make sense for the average everyday person. And so I love her work. It's something that I am currently studying and continuing to study, and I'm constantly learning from her. So that's another really great resource if you want to start diving into the nervous system and really how it works and how it relates and how it's triggered and all of that. Which leads me to number 2 is acknowledging your triggers, right? Acknowledging what triggers you when you feel like you can't relax, what triggers you to be in productive mode. For me, it's noticing that I'm needing to do the dishes and I can't let there be a mess anywhere. And I feel this need to control my environment. And that trigger for me, I just need to acknowledge it. I just need to accept it. I need to just say that when I do this, when my brain starts spiraling and spinning, it's feeling overwhelmed, my nervous system is heightened and I'm no longer in my calm state. So this is a moment when I need to acknowledge it and say, okay, I need to do something about this. And in the beginning, imagine there's 2 doorways that come up. You're going to see a doorway that's the old doorway of like, I can just keep going down this path and the rest of my day is going to be crap. And I know it's going to be crap, but that's easy. Just keep doing things the way I do it. Be productive. Don't relax. And you're going to see this other doorway that shows up. And this one over here is the new doorway. It's the one that you could choose to regulate yourself. You could choose to sit down in the chair and just rub the left side of your neck, because that's where the nervous system runs, right in this area here. It's all over your body all the way down, but this is a really good marker for that right here. And just start rubbing your body and soothing your body. Maybe it's rocking in the rocking chair for just 2 minutes, and you can see these 2 doorways pop up and it's like, which one do I choose? And now you may not choose the second doorway, but the fact that it's actually coming online is progress. So let's celebrate that. Let's let that be a celebration. And the next time that we are in a really stressful situation, maybe we actually choose that doorway. It's a really huge moment to be able to say, yeah, my nervous system is heightened and I have a choice. I have a choice on what I can do next. So the next thing that I have found to be really life-changing and really changes the trajectory of my day is practicing anchor breathing. If you don't know what anchor breathing is, I have an entire video that I actually recorded in a moment when I needed to do some anchor breathing. So I will make sure to link that below. And if you're on YouTube, of course, I'll link it right here. But anchor breathing, it helps us to tune back into our body, to come back online. So often when we're in fight or flight, we're outside of our body. We're not connected. And if we're not connected, we can't be calm. We can't access the ability to sit down and relax and just be. And so I have been practicing anchor breathing so much more in the recent months. And I truly have found a huge difference. And I think that if, you can find, even if it's box breathing or whatever type of breathing that may help you to actually access your calm, I know that you will be able to not only see these two doorways, but then choose the, breathing doorway. I'm going to anchor myself right now, and you anchor. And then you get to move into the next moment, which is being able to actually choose being calm, being relaxed, doing something that will fill you. And then it's like gold. It's like, that's the gold, is getting to that moment and then having this blissful moment of play, of just being. So the next thing, number 4, that I mentioned in so many videos, any video I talk about calm, relaxation, any of the above, is somatics. I began doing the workout witch somatics. I started that back in March, and I actually got it because after I had my second daughter, who has a rare heart defect. We were in the hospital, and she was in the NICU for a while, and it was very stressful. There was lots of bills that came along with that, along with an unknown future. We know that at some point she needs surgery, and when is that surgery coming? I don't know. It's kind of a wait and see approach, and there's a lot of stress. And so I was dealing with cortisol belly. And I was so embarrassed because my belly looked like I was still like 20 weeks pregnant. And I just was frustrated, So I got this course because she, in one of her TikToks, I think I saw, actually, I don't have TikTok. So I think it was a YouTube reel that I seen, a short. Guys, I'm not a social media person. That's why I'm only here on YouTube. But anyway, she had a short that talked about cortisol belly. And she said that somatics helps to get rid of it because it helps to break up the trauma. It helps to break up the stress. So I bought the course. And it didn't actually take away my cortisol belly completely. I still have some, and I think a lot of what I'm seeing now is just diastasis recti. But I have seen a major difference in my nervous system. The days that I do not practice somatics, I am infinitely different the next day. The days I do practice somatics, I just feel like I have this ooey gooey oozing honey coming out of my pores that I can just spread all over everybody. Just this love that I can just pour, and I don't even know where it comes from. It seems so easy. It seems like tantrums are no big deal. It feels like hiccups in my day are nothing. It feels like I have more capacity. I'm more productive. And I really don't know where I would be without somatics. So if you are new to the world of somatics, I am going to leave a link below. It is an affiliate link, which basically means you're going to buy me a small cup of coffee, like a really small cup of coffee. Maybe like a half of my latte. Anyway, but I love the workout witch. I don't even know her name. Isn't that terrible? but I adore her. I love her. I need to find out her name so that way I can share it on here. But yeah, definitely check her out. Check out her stuff if you're interested in more guidance and understanding of how somatics can really impact you and the changes that it can make for not only you, but for your entire family. Number 5 is going to be checking in with your body frequently. So throughout the day, I am doing little mini body check-ins. For me in the beginning, I would notice that before I would feel rage, my chest would get really tight. And so I would do check-in points throughout the day. And I would check in with my body and say, is my chest really tight? Is it tight right now? And then, it was noticing, oh, my neck is really tight. Is my neck tight? Was my neck tight? Is my jaw tight? Is my head feeling, how am I feeling? And in the beginning, it was a little discouraging because it felt like every time I was checking in, my body was not doing well. My body was tense and tight. But as I kept going, I would begin to notice moments where my body felt completely calm. My body felt relaxed. It felt at peace. And this really helped me to get myself out of the constant tense and stress that I was in, so that way I could access that calm state. And it made me crave it. It made me crave just sitting and being. I think every mom needs that and deserves that. And when we punish ourselves and tell ourselves we're not worthy or we would be bad moms if we did that, I think that's crazy. And now I think that's crazy. I didn't before, but I think that it's so important for us to know and be in tune with our body so we can have these relaxing moments and we can anchor ourselves. We can first acknowledge, what's even going on. And from there, we can be able to just be and be able to enjoy and savor in these little moments. So the very last thing that I would recommend somebody doing if they're wanting to begin relaxing is just weaving moments of leisure into your daily life. And I use the word weaving here because with kids, it's not just like, oh, I can plan 30 minutes every day to do my leisurely thing. It's like, no, how can I take a minute? And then, maybe how can I take 5 minutes? Maybe how can I take 10 minutes? And maybe it's 5 minutes throughout your day that you're weaving in these moments of leisure. For so long, my moment of leisure, this felt like the only thing I could do, is I'd go outside and I would prop my arms up on our railing and I would look out at the mountains and I would just stare. And I would just look and I would just be. And sometimes that lasted 30 seconds. Sometimes my kids gave me 10 minutes, And so letting that just be a moment to just, and sometimes in the midst of the chaos, that's all we need. We just need a moment to turn everything around. And if we're so stuck in the fight and flight, we're never going to be able to experience the fullness of rest, the fullness of relaxation. And so I think that, weaving these little moments and not making them these big grand things. Like, it's not like I'm going to go do a whole quilt. It's not like I'm going to work on the quilt every single day. It's not how that's happened. I mean, I took almost 4 months off because I didn't have that time. But when I do have that time, and when I see the time, let me carve that out. And now that I know how to regulate my nervous system and I know how to get myself into a calmer state, I can actually have more time. I have more availability to do some of these hobbies that I didn't think I could ever do as a mom, because I thought that would take away from being productive and from getting it all done and doing everything for my kids, and yeah. So yeah, I think as I'm sitting here, I'm just having this thought of just remembering how guilty I felt for just taking this time and for, regulating myself and trying to figure out how to regulate myself. And yeah, I just wish I knew. I wish I knew that that was just going to make me the best version of me. And if I knew that, I think I would have been more encouraged to do it. I think I would have done it more. And I hope I can extend that to you. I hope I can teach you. I hope that you can learn from my mistakes of just believing that if I'm more productive, if my kitchen is perfectly clean, and often I would say, like, when the kitchen is clean, then I can go sit down. It was kind of like this work before play thing. But that just meant I was constantly cheating myself of time, and honestly, I am more productive now that I have these moments of leisure woven through my day than I ever was when I was trying to get it all done, because I was multitasking and I was not getting it all done well. Honestly, I was getting a lot less done. And yet I had just no time. I had no time to just watch my kids, observe them, look at their cute little drawings and paintings, and just savor in this season that is just flying by. I know that's what everybody says, but it's really flying by, and I don't want it to. But anyway, that is going to wrap up today's episode. I hope that this brought you encouragement. I hope that it gave you some tools, some tips. I hope you even just take one little nugget away from this that will encourage you to rest, to relax, to just be, because I know how hard it is to do. So anyway, if you like this video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you have questions, if you're interested in the nervous system and you want to know more, comment below, because I love talking with you guys in the comments. And as always, I hope that you guys have a good week and happy parenting.